Could a single overlooked warning have stopped an unthinkable nightmare before it began? In a quiet, unassuming home, children's laughter once echoed freely, until one devastating night shattered the safety that everyone took for granted. This is no ordinary story, but a cautionary tale of how even the most peaceful setting can hide the darkest of truths. We're pulling back the curtain on a life-altering event so chilling that it will change the way you see those closest to you forever. Will you turn away from what lies behind these doors, or dare to discover the truth that could save another life?
Welcome to Crime Bite.
In this channel, we peel back the layers of those hidden realities, raw evidence, conflicting testimonies, and emotional pleas for help that too often come too late. By looking into these crime bites, you'll see firsthand how broken trust, systemic oversights, and chilling motives can converge into stories that rattle us to the core. If you find this exploration as vital as we do, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and click the notifications button. Together, we can shine a light on the cases that demand attention, ensuring every voice, especially the silenced, finds the audience it deserves. Ripley, West Virginia was the kind of place where neighbors offered a warm greeting and rarely felt the need to lock their doors. For decades, life followed a gentle rhythm. Children played in safe, leafy yards, and folks took pride in knowing one another's names. In this serene, close-knit community, serious crime was a rare occurrence, something you might hear about in distant headlines, not in your own backyard. Amanda Atkins found comfort in this small-town environment. A single mother juggling 4 kids, she navigated each day with remarkable determination. Her modest home was a whirlwind of activities: homework at the kitchen table, toy cars on the living room floor, and siblings negotiating playtime. Yet amid the noise, she managed to maintain a warm and supportive atmosphere. The littlest member of the household, 10-month-old Emmaleigh Barringer, had entered the world prematurely, but displayed a surprising resilience that earned her the nickname Tiny Warrior. In this corner of West Virginia, where trust formed the foundation of daily life, no one expected the creeping darkness that would soon enter Amanda's home. Neighbors simply saw a bustling family that persevered despite hardships. Yet the innocence of this assumption would soon be tested in the most harrowing way possible. Could one overlooked moment of doubt have prevented the unthinkable? Amanda's day-to-day routine was a balancing act, preparing meals, helping with homework, soothing the occasional tantrum, and ensuring the house remained a safe haven. Her older 3 children each played a unique role in Emily's life. Nathaniel, the 7-year-old big brother, carried himself with an air of responsibility. He was the self-appointed guardian. Carly, 1 year younger than Nathaniel, loved to spin around the living room, entertaining Emily until the baby clapped in delight. 2-year-old Cameron offered affectionate gestures, a toy car here or a giggle there. Though he hardly grasped what it meant to be a big brother, Amanda took pride in maintaining this warm environment. Despite the financial and emotional strain of single motherhood, her home echoed with laughter and sibling camaraderie. She often wondered if there might be someone out there who could share her burdens, someone genuinely invested in her family's well-being. Still, she told herself that if no such partner arrived, she would manage on her own. Yet Amanda remained open to the possibility of love. Emily's presence, her unexpected strength despite premature birth, reaffirmed Amanda's conviction that life could sometimes deliver beautiful surprises. Late at night, after tucking her children into bed, Amanda might linger by Emily's crib, touched by a profound gratitude that her tiny warrior continued to thrive. She held on to hope that someone might enter their world who truly cared. Though the city of Ripley slumbered under star-filled skies, certain vulnerabilities lay beneath the surface. For a single mother longing for stability, the promise of companionship could be both a hope and a trap. Little did Amanda realize how quickly her trust in a newcomer would unravel the fabric of safety she had so carefully woven. When a child's laughter is your daily comfort, how do you prepare for the silence that follows betrayal? Share your thoughts in the comments section. When Benjamin Taylor first crossed Amanda's path, he seemed like a long-awaited answer to her unspoken prayers. His easy smile and willingness to tackle everyday tasks, like repairing a squeaky cupboard door, made him appear considerate and kind. He laughed readily, offered to babysit when Amanda ran quick errands, and integrated himself seamlessly into the household's daily bustle. Family and friends began commenting on Amanda's good fortune, remarking how Taylor's calm demeanor could be exactly what she needed. The older children seemed to warm to him. After all, he kindly included them in dinner conversations and sometimes brought home small treats, a candy bar here, an ice cream cone there. And for Emmaleigh, Taylor's face likely registered as just another comforting adult presence. Unbeknownst to Amanda, Taylor's background was far from spotless. A record of offenses lurked in his past, though he never disclosed them. He brushed aside any mention of personal hardships, focusing instead on showing a gentle side that Amanda found reassuring. To her, he represented a future partner, someone who appreciated her children as much as he appreciated her. But behind the warmth, there were subtle flickers of unease. Now and then, Taylor vanished for an hour at night, offering vague excuses. Sometimes, Amanda would catch him hurriedly closing windows on his phone, but if questioned, he'd shrug it off. These whispers of dissonance never accumulated into a genuine alarm for Amanda. Her desire for stability muted any inclination to scrutinize him too deeply. It was the quiet infiltration of a predator under the guise of a caring companion, a scenario unimaginable to Amanda, who placed her faith in the intangible spark of new love. And in an unsuspecting small town like Ripley, few would question a mother's hope for a helpful partner. Can we ever truly know the strangers we invite into our homes, or do we only see what they want us to see? Days stretched into a couple of months. Taylor joined in on everything from dinner at the family table to reading bedtime stories. The older siblings accepted him as part of the household routine. In a social media post, Amanda happily announced she was in a relationship, complete with heart emojis, prompting supportive comments from her circle of friends. Yet faint warning signs persisted. A fleeting shadow might cross Taylor's expression when Emmaleigh cried. Sometimes if Amanda woke late at night, she'd find him alone in another room, his eyes trained on his phone, a tension in his posture that contradicted his daytime demeanor. She dismissed these moments, reasoning that everyone deserved some private downtime. For Emmaleigh, life remained reassuringly stable, at least on the surface. She continued her exploration of the world with newly discovered skills, tugging at older siblings' toys, babbling for attention, lighting up the room with her laughter. As an infant, she lacked the capacity to sense hidden malice. Her environment was the only one she had ever known, and Taylor's presence, like everyone else's, was simply part of her day. No one realized that in the quiet corners of the internet, Taylor's curiosity had turned disturbingly dark. Private browsing concealed harmful interests. Each time he clicked away from incriminating sites, he slipped back into the family dynamic, offering a helping hand or sharing a polite joke. The entire household carried on in innocence. Such duplicity could not endure forever. Behind the friendly facade lay plans or impulses that no mother would ever expect. All it required was one sleepless night, one moment of vulnerability, to unleash a horror that would devastate the entire family. October 2nd, 2016 began as unremarkably as any other day. Amanda's older children spent the afternoon playing or finishing little chores. Emmaleigh dozed off and on, content in her baby swing. The evening meal unfolded with the usual routine, setting plates, reviewing the day's events, hearing about small child-sized dramas. Once bedtime arrived, Amanda performed her customary checks, tucking each child in with a kiss on the forehead. Meanwhile, Benjamin Taylor also settled in for the night, though he did not immediately go to bed. Amanda, exhausted, fell asleep. No alarm signaled the depravity about to unfold. To anyone else, the house might have seemed enveloped in a comforting hush. Emmaleigh, still awake, was in her swing in the living room. She was only 10 months old, incapable of grasping malice or stranger danger. When Taylor approached, she would have recognized him as a familiar figure, someone who'd carried her before. Under cover of darkness, he took the baby from that swing and ventured downstairs to the basement. What transpired below defied comprehension. A space typically used for storage or laundry became the scene of an unimaginable act. Emmaleig's innocence, the sense of safety Amanda had nurtured, both fell victim to Taylor's shocking violence. No voices upstairs registered the horror seeping through the wooden floorboards. The night that had seemed so quiet, so routine, now harbored a crime that would rupture multiple lives. Sometime around 4 a.m., Amanda stirred, invaded by a nameless dread. The baby monitor showed no movement. Glancing toward Emmaleig's crib, she realized her infant wasn't there. Anxious confusion set in. Perhaps Taylor had taken her to the living room to calm her fussing? She combed through the house, each silent room intensifying her alarm. The living room sat empty, the baby swing unoccupied. Then she noticed the basement door slightly open, a dull glow drifting up the staircase. Heart pounding, she descended the steps into a nightmare. At the bottom, Amanda found Taylor and Emmaleigh in a scene so horrifying it defied immediate comprehension. Her baby lay gravely injured, her small body cold, while Taylor seemed unnervingly calm or detached. Amanda's scream ripped through the quiet. In a panic, she snatched Emmaleigh away from him, clutching the child's limp form against her chest as she raced upstairs to call 911. Emergency vehicles arrived within minutes, painting the once peaceful street in flashing hues of red and blue. Police officers discovered the basement in disarray. Paramedics whisked Emmaleigh away, uncertain if she could be saved. Taylor, confronted with incriminating stains on his clothes, offered nonsensical remarks. The quiet house that had once cradled a loving family now stood as a crime scene, its walls echoing with Amanda's sobs and the hollow shock of first responders. In an instant, Amanda's carefully tended sense of security shattered. Her trust had been annihilated. The man she believed was a gentle partner revealed himself as something monstrous, and the baby who had fought hard to live was left clinging to the faintest thread of survival. Emmaleig's injuries were catastrophic. Severe trauma to her skull, signs of assault that no accidental fall could explain. Doctors raced to stabilize her, calling in specialists, though it was quickly apparent her survival prospects were slim. Amanda arrived in a haze of tears and desperation, pleading silently for a miracle. Police, meanwhile, wasted no time confronting Taylor. They took him to the station, where he offered contradictory statements, claims of not remembering, vague references to alcohol, feigned shock at the accusations. Yet physical evidence spoke volumes. Forensic experts found Emmaleig's blood on his clothing. The basement itself yielded disturbing signs of a violent struggle. A search of his phone records and internet history revealed patterns suggesting premeditation. The more investigators uncovered, the more grotesque the picture became. Recorded jail calls further implicated Taylor. In one, he half admitted wrongdoing, denying molestation, but grudgingly conceding that he had done something bad. The medical examiner's findings were equally damning. Emmaleigh had no chance of recovery. Broken in both body and spirit, the infant clung to life only through mechanical intervention. 2 days after arriving at the hospital, Amanda had to make an unbearable choice, removing her baby from life support. Standing by the machines that hissed and beeped, she pressed her lips to Emmaleig's forehead in a final goodbye. The child who had once beaten the odds of premature birth was gone, stolen by an act so brutal that it stunned the entire town. News of Emmaleig's death reverberated across Ripley, fueling outrage and sorrow. Families who had grown complacent in their sense of communal safety suddenly wondered how such evil could have lived among them, undetected. For the investigators, their mission now aimed at securing justice for the life so viciously cut short. If you caught a glimpse of something sinister in the one you trust, would you risk everything to expose it? The case proceeded to trial in the Jackson County Courthouse, drawing widespread attention. Townspeople, many of whom had once known Amanda's family or recognized Taylor's face, packed the courtroom. Emotions ran high. Some folks wore ribbons in child abuse awareness colors, while others stood quietly, faces etched with grief and anger. Prosecutors built a devastating case. They introduced graphic evidence of Emmaleig's injuries, described forensic findings linking Taylor to the crime, and revealed the horrific details gleaned from his online searches. The pediatrician who examined Emmaleigh testified to the grievous damage inflicted on her. Detectives laid out the timeline, from the baby's last known presence in her swing to the final moment Amanda found her in the basement. Amanda's testimony proved especially heart-wrenching. Her voice trembled as she recounted descending the stairs, seeing Taylor kneeling beside her lifeless child, and calling 911 in an uncontrolled panic. each word echoed through the silent courtroom like a final condemnation of betrayal. Taylor's defense team struggled to mount any credible counter-argument. Attempts to frame the incident as a result of drunken confusion fell apart under the weight of physical evidence. Allegations of memory lapses could not overshadow the raw, meticulous facts. Emmaleigh had been assaulted in the basement, and Taylor was the only adult present. The jury needed just 2 hours of deliberation to pronounce the verdict. Guilty on all counts, including first-degree murder, sexual assault, and child abuse resulting in death. When the truth finally emerges, does justice in the courtroom truly bring peace to those left behind? Share your comments. When sentencing commenced, the tension was palpable. Family members and spectators watched as the judge, reflecting the jury's recommendation, handed down life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, sometimes referred to as no mercy. Taylor, impassive, offered no indication of regret or sorrow. His stony silence unnerved those who had hoped for some spark of human remorse. Amanda, supported by relatives, wept silently. The triumph of seeing justice served was overshadowed by the unbridgeable void of Emmaleig's death. A wave of bittersweet relief swept through the community. At least this monster would never be free to harm another child. Yet no punishment, however severe, could undo the heartbreak etched into every corner of that home. Within days, the media spotlight moved beyond the trial's outcome to broader implications. Public outcry fueled new legislation in West Virginia, culminating in Emmaleig's Law, which stiffened penalties for child abuse, resulting in fatality. Though gratitude for the law's passage was widespread, an air of sadness clung to it. Emmaleig's life ended to inspire these reforms. For many, a single question remained: why had no one spotted the danger sooner? In the aftermath, life in Ripley returned to outward normalcy. Children still laughed in backyards, and neighbors still greeted each other on front porches. Yet an invisible scar lay across the town's heart. People who had once prided themselves on trust and open doors learned, in the harshest way, that vigilance is paramount. No community is immune to evil. Amanda Atkins remained an advocate for child safety. Despite her grief, she spoke publicly about screening new partners more diligently and urged others to watch for warning signs. She recognized that her faith in humanity had been manipulated by a predator. Speaking through tears, she reminded listeners that ignoring even small suspicions can lead to catastrophic outcomes. Emmaleig's Law evolved into a somber memorial of the baby who once overcame a premature birth, only to be robbed of her future by unimaginable cruelty. Its passage rippled beyond West Virginia, prompting discussions about child welfare protocols nationwide. Online forums and advocacy groups invoked Emmaleig's name whenever another story of child abuse surfaced, determined to prevent a repeat of the oversight that let Benjamin Taylor so easily enter her life. Yet perhaps the most enduring aspect of Emmaleig's legacy is the heartbreaking reminder that true monsters can hide behind familiar faces. In the quiet moments where Amanda and her older children reflect on Emmaleig's short, radiant life, they remain united by her memory. Siblings recall her enthusiastic babbling. Amanda recalls those fragile early months when the doctors wondered if her tiny warrior would survive. Emmaleig's brief existence embodied both resilience and vulnerability, offering a lasting call for community watchfulness and unwavering devotion to protecting children. If this documentary impacted you, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the notifications button. By doing so, you help raise awareness about the urgent need to protect children and shine a light on real cases too often lost in the dark. Every view, share, and comment strengthens our collective voice in demanding justice and prevention. Emmaleigh Barringer's story stands as a stark testament to the preciousness of each child's life, and a chilling caution that even the most trusted newcomer can harbor unfathomable darkness. Will you stay silent, or will you stand with us in ensuring no more children fall victim to overlooked signs?